Tennessee Democrats gathered following the State of the State address for their assessment of the governor's remarks. Of the two big agenda issues discussed by the governor, expanding the school voucher program and cutting the franchise business tax, but not the sales tax on food, Democrats oppose both.
I grew up understanding that education was supposed to be the great equalizer for all people in this state. But today you heard Governor Lee propose a private school voucher scam that would give wealthy families a $7,000 tax break for their kids to attend private schools. Right now, Tennessee is the bottom 10 in the nation for school funding. Bottom 10. That is embarrassing to everybody in this state. The governor wants to use our tax dollars to subsidize these private schools that aren't even accountable to taxpayers, and they can reject any student that they want. What that does is that continues to perpetuate a system of classism and racism, because we know private schools can decide what kids that they want and what kids that they don't want on taxpayers' dollars. And in the first year of this voucher pilot program, it has shown that children on this program are not doing any better than kids in public school. And then in the second year, we're looking at over $800 million in tax funding going towards vouchers. And that second year, there won't be no income cap. So any wealthy family, any family with the resources already able to afford private school will be able to get an additional coupon on our dollar. All taxpayers in Tennessee pay federal funds that go to education, and that money trickles down to Tennessee. But what are we saying when we're allocating many of that funding to go to private schools? That should be a choice that if you have the money, you go pay for a private school, but our tax dollars should be used for our public school system.
Democrats also say while Governor Lee did not propose eliminating the sales tax on food, he did propose cutting the franchise business tax.
We'll also propose tax cuts again by simplifying our franchise tax and making Tennessee an even stronger choice for companies that choose to do business in our great state.
You heard in the State of the State address that our governor's priorities are about big corporations and wealthy families over everyday working people. Governor Bill Lee presented tonight a more trickle-down economics for the rich with cuts to the franchise tax. This corporate tax break represents the largest transfer of wealth from big corporations, from working families to big corporations than in the history of this state. One of the largest transfers of wealth from working families to big corporations. And over the next decade, you will see our budget being gutted by $5.3 billion. Think about what we can do with that money. $5.3 billion over the next decade. We could be giving tax relief to working and middle-class families in this state. We could be fully funding pre-K for every family in Tennessee. And we could be investing in health care, child care, and crime prevention to reduce gun violence in this state. We could be giving more relief to working families on the grocery tax. But instead, Republicans are letting big corporations bully them to give them a refund while working class people are footing the bill and getting less services.
Stay with us. This Week continues in a moment. Thank you for spending part of your weekend with us. That will do it for another edition of This Week. We hope to see you back here next weekend for another edition of This Week. Between now and then, you have a great week.